Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am so excited to connect with you today. Now, let's jump into today's episode, ready to rock and with an open heart. Well, hi, and welcome back to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today, we are here with The Crown Remains, and I'm really excited. They actually were sort of featured on our podcast already, as when Eric Dover was on, he was kind enough to do a little mini review of their debut single, the Cloaked Facade. And so here we are, coming to us today from Belfast. Yeah, excellent.
Yes. Yeah.
So first of all, I have to say, I think there's a lot of really cool, dark, awesome music coming out of Belfast right now. And on some of my review pages, it seems to me that I get a lot of people messaging me from Belfast, and I'm kind of living for it. It's very cool. Why do you think that there's so much cool music coming out of Belfast right now?
I mean, I'd say like the punk and metal scene in Belfast has always been quite like prevalent here. Yeah, in like recent times, it seems to be there's like a lot of cool bands at the minute. So yeah, we're surrounded by good music. Definitely, there's so much of it, and it's just really cool to see. Honestly,
you always say a lot of like ultimate as well.
Yeah.
I love that because you know what? I've been to Belfast once for, honestly, it was like I was just there for a day. And so I didn't really get into the scene, but just from my short time there, I'm just being honest, I probably wouldn't have expected that there would be such a punk and metal scene. And now I'm like, okay, I need to go back kind of immediately.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history here with the music as well, with bands like the Undertones and Stiff Little Fingers. There's a lot to live up to, and some of those bands have made great success from this country. So it shows it is a tiny country, but a lot of music and amazing music can come from this place. So we would love to be a part of that and bring more to that scene, definitely.
I think, you know what, I think you are off to an incredible start with that already. So do you guys want to introduce all of yourself to our listeners, and you want to give us a little backstory on the band?
Yeah, so.
I'm Ray. I'm Gina.
I'm Tori.
Yeah, I'm Ben.
And I'm Connor.
And yeah, we're the Crown Remains. We're from Belfast, Northern Ireland. We recently released our debut single, Cloaked Facade, this February. We're currently in the writing process for more music at the minute, writing an EP at the minute. So yeah, and we're just here to have a good time.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. How long have you been together as a band now?
We've been together as a band over 2 years now.
Yeah, but CCR's been like a band for quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
It took a while to like get everybody in the band.
Like initially, I started this whole idea of a band when I was like 14, 15. I'm like 21 now. So it's been a long time coming, but it went through different names, changes, different members for a while before I found these lovely people that we have now. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, but we've finally found our footing and we're off to a good start, I hope.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part, right? Is finding your people that kind of, they all have this aligned vision with you. So you can all kind of move as a unit forward instead of, kind of being all over the place. And it's worth taking that time to find it. So I'm really happy that you have.
Yeah, it's definitely like important that the people you're with understand your vision, because like I don't think anything's more important than like everybody being on the same path and understanding the direction that the band wants to go in. Because there's a lot of people that have different ways they want to go with a band. And for me, I was looking for people that were really, really dedicated and really wanted to commit their lives to doing this. So yeah, it's difficult because there are a lot of people, do music as a hobby, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, but we really wanted to go the extra mile with it, and that's why I'm so happy that I have these guys now, because that's what we all want. We all want the same thing, so that's just amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We're pretty.
It's true though, because you see like a lot of people kind of doing it as a hobby, and exactly like you say, I'm sitting here like, have you been reading my blog drafts or posted blogs? Because they talk about this. Because I don't think that there's any issue if you just want it to be a hobby, but if you want to grow and really get out there, then you have to have those people that are all in, totally dedicated. You have to do the work, and I'm sure you are learning every day. It's a lot of work, right?
I suppose what also helps is that Ray, Gina, Tori, and stuff we all went to like the same college. So
Yeah.
we were there for a brief period of time. All studying on under music performance.
Oh, so cool. I love that. And so then obviously then friendships were built during college, and then you kind of just did you reconnect then after college and go, hey, let's make this a thing?
I'd probably say it wasn't after college. I think it was more during college. So it was because before the three of them, they were like in the class above me because I only joined and they were still part of college. And,
right.
Trying to figure the lineup, Tori just said to Gina and Ray, hey, do you fancy, joining? And they were like, yeah, okay. And then it's pretty much with me, just, yeah, I'll go with this too. So,
Why not?
I'll jump on board.
That's it. Just hop on board, why not? And I think you made a good hop. It's, I can't remember. I think you guys found me online, right? And you sent me your song. And I have to be honest, when I opened it, I wasn't sure what to expect. And then the vocals kick in and you're like, oh. And, just based off that alone, I'm like, I think people will be hooked because it is unique and it's different. Anybody can do hard rock, and not anybody, okay, but many people could do hard rock, could do metal, but I think when you add in your vocals, it's like, oh, and it's really cool. It's just such a unique sound. And I'm happy that you're back recording more and writing more, because I think if people have heard, if they haven't heard, you need to go listen to the track now. But I think once you hear that, you'll be kind of hooked right in. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I love the vocals at the start of the track. It was such a creative decision. We were going to try and tell a story with that song, so I really liked the idea of kind of starting it on this somber note, kind of almost like a ghost telling a story, and then coming back in the end with that similar tone and vocals to kind of wrap it up in a nice little bow. So it was very important that we told that story the whole way through. We used a lot of the way the vocals, the dynamics of the vocals throughout the song, and even the instruments, certain sections are reflecting what's being told in the story. So it's a very, I'm not really sure, but it's a very dynamic song, and it's all time.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's very well thought out. It's very well put together. And I think, I don't know, sometimes I feel like songs just get slapped together in some ways now. And I mean, in some ways they always have too. But I love seeing songs that just have all these components, and it really makes up something bigger than just a cool track to listen to. Maybe that's just me, but
I completely agree.
So you're writing music right now for an EP to be released, yeah. Do you have what path are you taking? Do you have like a theme for it? Is there any kind of concept behind it? Are there more stories being told? I want to go deep on what's all of your music about.
Yeah, well, I think in terms of the songs, I think it's pretty like a free flowing kind of thing. Like we'll write whatever if we just feel like we want to do. In a sense, like we'll go for like all different musical influences that we find interesting. And then we'll just go, should we do this? Yeah, maybe we might do that. And then we'll go, well, maybe that. And maybe we'll go try this instead. Like maybe we'll drop a tune on guitar or something like that, and we'll go, oh, that actually works a lot better. I think it's just, whatever ideas we find, we just want to, see whatever that might take, and again, just have a free flow kind of vibe to whatever we write, really.
Yeah. I think that's important too, to be very open to experimentation and trying new things, because otherwise I think you can get stuck in your own little box, right? If you don't. So
you want to be outside of the box. That's our goal. Want to be different.
Yes. And it's it's really hard to be different now. It's incredibly hard.
Very hard. With experimentation, that's why you need to try like some strange things, and you think sometimes this isn't going to work, but you just have to say, give it a go. And sometimes if you give it a go, you can come out with the next big hit. You really don't know. And some of the weirdest things that you could do, you could try on all the instruments, vocals, drums, guitar, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, something will end up working. And usually we find it very quickly. It takes a lot of stress, but we eventually get there.
Yeah, it takes a few writing sessions, but hey.
Yeah. Well, and even so, maybe then you'd come out with things that you could use in the future for other tracks too, which is, it's always very cool to keep all of that in your bank, right? Yeah.
Definitely, because I know for a fact whenever I'm like writing bass lines and what have you, like I'll come up with like these like melody ideas, but then I'll be like, no, I'll store them away, like I'll record them down and I'll keep them like on my phone, like in a big like recording vault, and then I go back. But then I go back and I listen to them like, what did I do again? So.
No, but that's so important too, and it's one of the best things you can do is just keep all those little voice notes and then maybe just add to it, I was doing this, but if you've forgotten. But yeah, playing it, it's an amazing way to build up that whole creative bank for yourself. It's very, very good. And then do all of you write the lyrics together, or is it kind of more one of you, or what's your writing process? Yeah.
Our songs start with lyrics, which I know maybe it seems a bit strange because I know a lot of bands don't do that, but it works for us, so, but typically our songs do start with lyrics, and normally it'll be something that like I'll just be setting, I'll just get like a wave of inspiration will just hit me, and normally it's like it just hits me and I have the song done really quickly, or there's times where it's like little pieces come in here and there, but typically I'll write lyrics and then come up with a melody like to sing to, and then me and Ray will work on that together and like develop lyrics more, and then we'll take it to these guys and then we'll just kind of go from there, like guitars and bass drums, and just build on that. So yeah, normally it is lyrics that start our writing process, which, like I said, I feel is a bit unconventional, but hey ho, it works for us.
The Cloaked Facade, you kind of had an idea of the melody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. It's interesting though, because I think you're right. A lot of people will start with music like, oh, hey, I got this great riff, and then they'll kind of throw some lyrics over top, even working lyrics. But I don't think you're too out of the norm, because I think there are a lot of different bands, different artists that'll start with lyrics. I know personally, when I come up with little things, it's always lyrics first. And I think, I guess, now here's my next question is, when you're listening to music, do you connect with the music or do you connect with the lyrics more?
Well, probably for me, I would say lyrics. Like, I'm really songwriter at my core. Like, that's what's most important to me is the story that a song's telling, and that's why I'm very lyric driven. But obviously everyone's different. Obviously I love the music too, but yeah, I would say I'm more of a lyric person myself. With you guys.
I mean, for me, I feel like I'm just a mixture. Like I'm pretty sure whenever I listen to a song initially, it's always, instruments first. Oh, well, that's an interesting key there, and oh, that's a nice little guitar line there. Oh, I feel that shuffle beat on the drums. I'm more instrumental first, but then I'll re-listen to it and then I'll read the lyrics and I go, oh, because I my whole thing, they all bleed into one another for myself, so they do.
Yeah.
Bit of a balance. But if there's a song I've listened to and I don't really relate to the lyrics, but I still like the instrumental, that's fine. But it's definitely not as special to me for it's the songs I relate to.
Yeah, I totally I think it's for me too. I think I probably notice the lyrics the most and I probably connect there the most. And most I can overlook lyrics sometimes if I don't connect with them or I just don't like them. But I definitely have times where I go, oh no, this is just too awful. And I'll dismiss the whole song based on lyrics sometimes. I'm quite savage like that. But then again, you get me with a really good beat and then I'm stuck forever.
As well, sometimes whenever you're writing a song, a lot of the instrumentation can branch from the lyrics. So as Tori was saying, she usually brings the lyrics to us and we listen to it. And even with the Cloaked Facade, we got the guitars down, the bass down, and whenever it comes to the drums, listening to the lyrics, you want to kind of match the vibe with it, and a lot of it can branch from there. And it can be an easy enough process sometimes. What we've had in my experience, I think, listening to lyrics and finding drum beats or guitar parts or whatever it is, it's really easy to kind of come up with something fairly quickly on the spot just to work off.
Yeah.
As well, whenever I would listen to music as well, I wouldn't dwell a lot on the lyrics, but sometimes they can really stand out for a lot of songs, and you can connect the songs a lot more if you connect to the lyrics. Sometimes you could love a song just for the music, that's brilliant music, sounds class, but I'm not a fan of the lyrics. But if you like both of them, that's how you can tell, yeah, that's a good song. I like that one there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Is there going to be a sort of theme on this EP that you're going to put out?
Well, like I say, Cloaked Facade, the story of that song is very much about empowerment and rising back up after you've been beaten down and, rising from the ashes, as it were. And that's kind of the story of that song. And the other two songs that we've been working on, they're sort of similar in that vein, I would say, but slightly different. So it's I would say it's like a story. It's more like, because our band is all about getting back up when you've been beaten down. That's what our name means. It's meant to mean the crown remains. After everything you went through, you get back up and your crown remains. That's kind of the whole theme. So with this being our debut EP, we really wanted to put across that message into the songs that we're writing. So yeah, but it's every song's different. They all have different aspects to them, but I'd say that's the core value running through all the songs is taking back your own power, as it were.
Kind of gave me goosebumps there because honestly, I think that's amazing, and I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to, especially right now. I think collectively as the world, we have been through a lot over the past couple of years, and I think it could be from so many different perspectives, but I think a lot of us are finding that regaining your power, keeping your crown, and, walking forward in life with strength. And the fact that you guys have, you have that just inherently in your name, and that's what you're about, I think it'll give people a lot of hope and, hope for the future and really power behind them again. Everybody needs that. Yes. Oh my God. Do we ever? Oh, no, I think that's really cool. I didn't realize that at first. I don't think I would have ever kind of picked up on that. So I'm so happy you told us the story of the name, because we need that. So I think it'll be something that people will really connect to. I know we spoke a little bit just on messages about, creating for mental health and moving forward on your journey and, healing, and almost as your own sort of therapy. I think you were saying that you guys bring that into your music as well, and as artists.
The way the way that story is in that song, that there's that glimmer of hope. So there is in that.
Yeah, the line is, the last line is, "The crown is ours, new reign begins." So it's, even though it's very tragic tale song, it's about how you can come out of the other end of that and get back up whenever you've been put down. So yeah, mental health and fighting about this sort of stuff is important to us. And I can't speak for everyone, but I think that music is our savior in a way, and it's always been that for me anyway, and it's always been the thing that has gotten me through some of the hardest times in my life. So it's always been the thing I turn to whenever things seem bleak, and it always gives me that renowned sense of hope. So that's what we hope to do with our music for people, is to for them to listen to it and realise that they're not alone, and they can pull strength from that, whatever that may be. Situations are different, everyone relates to songs differently, and I think that's the beauty of music. But I hope that they can pull that from our songs and feel that sense of empowerment.
No, mental health would be a massive factor in music as well, I would say. As Tori said, it's an escape as well. For a lot of people, if you play music, if you just listen to music, going to have a listen or going to have a play can be the greatest healer. Especially in this country, this country alone has some of the highest suicide rates of teenagers ever.
Oh,
so
really?
This country is, the mental health in this country for a lot of young people is really bad. And I feel like music as well, people hear us playing it, for people to just come and listen and have 2 minutes of an escape, freedom, forget about the world and just enjoy the song. That can it can save people's lives. Music for me, mental health and music, it's a massive savior. I always relied on it, and I'll never forget about it, and I always know it's going to be there. And I couldn't imagine the world without music. It would be the most bleak and dull place you could ever go to, and everyone would just be unhappy if you didn't have music.
Yeah, no truer words have been spoken. It's I think about a couple bands that for me were kind of like my little safe space. One would be the B-52s, and not just the Love Shack, but they really helped me believe that it was just okay to be different, and it was okay to be yourself. And I think I was around 10 or 11 listening to it and feeling totally lost in the world. I'm like, it was quite a crisis for 10, but truthfully, I felt that, and I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, no, those feelings were real. And, the safety I found in the music was just, I don't know, inexplicable. And the other one for me would be Aerosmith. I don't know, there's a lot of their songs, and it's sometimes it's hard to talk about, and you think, I lost my brother to suicide a long time ago, when I was very, very young. And I would be a liar if I said I never had thoughts of suicide in my life. And that is I don't like admitting that, but it's true. And I truthfully believe music saved my life. And I think I know I'm not alone in that feeling too. Even you just say the same thing, right? I did not realize that there was such a high suicide rate in Northern Ireland. That's awful. Yeah. And I think, it's going to be amazing continuing this strong music community to really bring people together and bring young people together and, hopefully prevent things like that because they'll have a place of belonging.
Yeah. Because I definitely think as well, like not only listening to the music, but, writing it too. If you're able to, channel those thoughts and emotions, and let that, the creative juices flow, into whatever it is you might end up writing, then you'll feel better, I think,
Yes.
Because, in a way it's a little bit of a therapy in a way.
Yeah. It's a release, right?
Yeah.
Like, and what's a safer place to let it out is on a piece of paper or use your voice to let it out, even if it's just to your cat or your dog or to nobody, But there's something about that release that's very, very important while you're writing or creating or just expressing yourself.
Yeah, it's like even if it doesn't go anywhere when you write something, like I know whenever I'm experiencing like a bad mental health time, I tend to like go straight to my notes or whatever, and I just start writing lyrics. And even if they don't go anywhere, like it's good to release that. And sometimes they do, and obviously that's where Cloaked Facade came from. That was one of the lucky ones that ended up becoming a song. But a lot of the time it's like just a release, and it's healthy to write anyway because the more you write, the more better you get at it. So it's it's a good outlet for people that are struggling. So I definitely think I agree.
Yes, absolutely. I was thinking about that the other day too. Is like the more you create, the better you get at creating, and the easier it comes and the easier it is to do. So I think, I love that. I have my notebooks that I keep with me, but sometimes I just neglect writing in them, which I need to stop neglecting. So I know. I love that. So when you think about some of your influences, what artists have made a big impact on each of you individually or as a band? I'd love to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like growing up, like Amy Winehouse has definitely been a big inspiration for me. Just for my grandparents as well, and my sister, because we would have played ukulele together and written music. So Amanda Palmer as well, because she plays a lot of ukulele in her songs, so we would have signed her songs specifically. But yeah, they would probably be the biggest inspirations for me. And they have really good lyrics too that are.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
For me, it would have probably been T-Rex or the New York Dolls.
Yes.
Something about their sound. I don't know if it's just me, but every time I listen to the music on a record player, it's like I'd go into a trance and feel like I'm in the 70s or lived in that time myself. I don't know why.
Yes.
It's a weird thing.
No, I think it's an amazing thing. And also I love that garage, grungy, just dirty rock and roll sound. Oh, so good. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I have bands but I'll try for a few. I would say like bands like Hailstorm and like Prereckless. A lot of those like female bands obviously influenced me a lot. Joan Jett's big influence of mine. And then bands like Iron Maiden, Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all the classics, Judas Priest, anything that's just really rock and roll.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and then I think for me, like big one that got me like really into the music was Queen. Freddie Mercury on here now.
Yes.
But it was honestly, I've been listening to their music and I enjoyed it, but I hadn't exactly like planned on playing music as it were. Like I was a music listener, not a music player. But then obviously I saw the Bohemian Rhapsody film whenever it came out. I was 16, and whenever it came to the scene and they were writing Another One Bites the Dust and John Deacon playing, the bass line, and seeing the prop. That's when sitting in the cinema seat, I was just like, that's what I want to do. That was my eureka moment. And then just over the years, just following more and more, like the Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, then obviously most recently Iron Maiden. But for me, it's very hard, but Queen is my number one, and always will be.
Oh, I love it.
I think for me, music's always been in my family for years, ever since I was born. My dad was a musician years ago, not really anymore, and he had played in a band, a few bands from here who nearly had the chance to make it. They had played in festivals and opened for like Slipknot whenever they were tiny and System of a Down. And like hearing the stories that he made over the years, I kind of look at it in awe, going, really? I don't believe half of it until he shows the photos, and it's like, wow. So I would say my biggest inspiration will probably be my dad, because of the things that he's done and things he could have done, which I hope to maybe one day pass the torch, or not pass the torch, to catch the torch.
Yeah.
Go on, hopefully maybe have a footprint. But sound wise, I love like Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age. There's so many, World Blood, a lot of big drummers like Neil Peart. I could watch Neil Peart for about 3 hours and not get bored, and I'd be in a trance. I could use him as a drum to get high on. Like it's amazing. But yeah, that's it though. Yeah.
Oh, so cool. I love that. Yeah, I saw your Foo Fighters shirt, and it's kind of awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I love it. We went to see the Foo Fighters in June here and down in London, and it was so great. And it's funny. So we saw AC/DC last week. So the Pretty Reckless opened, and gosh, Taylor Momsen, she's just amazing. Like, she really commanded the crowd. And yes, you're going to get there one day. Wembley, here we go. It's no, but it's, you know what, it's so cool hearing that too. And your story about Queen and watching Bohemian Rhapsody, I love that when you have these moments that is just like the world makes sense. And I see my path. It is laid out in front of me. And I think we all have those moments with certain pieces of music, and you're just like, I understand the whole key to the universe now. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, exactly. Oh, no, it's amazing. I am a very diverse group of interests and, bands that you guys all like. And I'm like, so many cool bands. I love all of them. I remember, one of my first rock and roll memories was being taken to see Tommy, a live, like a screen production of Tommy by The Who. And not screen production, stage production of Tommy by The Who. There we go. And when I was listening to it, I was going, this is absolutely the best music ever written in the history of the universe. And I came home and I told my mom all about it. And she was like, here's the cassette. She had the original album, the rock opera, on cassette. And I was like, yes. And so I played it to death. And it's probably still one of my favorite albums ever in the history of the universe. And I think that was really my tipping point into loving rock. And, and I think also with the Beatles, I remember my mom buying the red and blue CDs, and she held them like they were some big secret and some like sacred CDs. And, she brought them home. This is from a really special band. And I was like, oh, and they were mine like immediately after that. I just kind of thought, thank you. And I brought them to my room. But, you have these life-changing moments with music, and it's, you never forget them. I think they get burned in your brain,
Went upstairs and we just by chance I just scrolled across the sea. I was just going through and saw back to Black Game Finals, and then I saw Zeppelin 4. And it comes upstairs and I say, I didn't know you were in the Led Zeppelin. He goes, oh yeah, I was. So and then not long ago, like last year, I then hopped through his old record collection, and out of the whole bunch, I saw Kate Bush's debut, and I was like, oh. And I ended up taking it home and listening to it, and I was like, why did you not tell me?
I need it. Did you took it home for yourself?
Oh yeah. It's in my collection now.
Good.
Collection, so.
It's the passing of time. It's the way things should be, I think. You hand down good records and good music to your children and your grandchildren, I think. Though for a while my son was trying to steal all my CDs, but I ended up just getting him his own copies because I didn't want to share. I know, it's kind of savage, but it's okay. Sometimes you have to set those boundaries. But it was, so I don't know. I love that. And it's interesting too how much of an influence our parents can have on our musical tastes as well. I mean, last week on Friday, we went to see Andrea Bocelli, and people would not take me for somebody who is into him and his beautiful voice, but I stood there in the pouring rain, crying my eyes out, listening to him sing. But that's just the way it is. But I grew up listening to a lot of opera with my mom, and it's just like, it's magical. It sits with you. So it was an honor to see him sing live. So.
What do I want to do with music? You have a key moments, and then no matter what, the memories will then come back, and everything ties in again. It's like maybe it was always meant to be.
Yeah. As you said, the memories you have with music, they're the ones that really stick with you, especially if you consider music to be a massive part of your life and your personality. It's like only a few weeks ago, I was seeing Limp Bizkit, and I was just out of one of the mosh pits, and I was nearly bruised and battered, but I was standing there going, I will probably never experience this again, and this is going to be one of the greatest moments. And then a week later, I was watching Sting from The Police, live, and I would have the kind of thing going, I'm never going to forget these gigs for as long as I live, because these are the moments where you truly feel like you're alive and you're watching history. It's amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. That is that is so true. I was thinking too, we went to the Taylor Hawkins tribute show in London back in 22, and that was really, that was one I definitely felt with before we even got here. That's kind of history in the making, and it was honestly one of the most beautiful evenings ever of my life. It was just, it was perfection, you know. It's
around and all the lights, and I was like, this is like top 10 moment. This is amazing. Like just the sound of everyone. And like I was like, what is going on right now? This is actually insane. But yeah, definitely an experience.
I know. Oh my gosh. And I always think, you know, and I talk about it a lot, but it's that community, right? Where everybody comes together for the love of a band or the love of a piece of music. And, you know, everybody is friends there. You have, you know, just take Wembley, you have whatever, 90,000 of your closest friends, and they're all in one place, and you just all love each other. And it makes me so happy. You just don't see things like that. Yeah. And maybe that's the reminder, is that you're not alone, you know, and especially when you're in a fandom, or you're in an arena or in a stadium, even a tiny club, when you're all loving the same artists and being brought together for the same reason. So you're recording right now, and when do you think we'll get to hear the next track?
Well,
you know, maybe by the end of the year?
Yes, definitely. But yeah, we're hoping to record really soon, I hope, provided circumstances. But yeah, like I said, we're in the process of writing at the minute as well. We actually just had a writing session on Sunday, so we're nearly done with that track that we're writing at the minute. I mean, I guess just like maybe literally like a few weeks to record.
Yeah, a few weeks or maybe a couple of months or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
And we're trying to, like, you know, get ready to play more gigs as well soon. So, you know, what to do.
Do you have any things booked right now that people could come see you at?
Not as of yet, but we'll be getting
watch
on
that space.
Yeah. Because if anyone wants to see, you know, like what we're like live, and, you know, let's say check the gig we did back in March, you know, and, you know, the space building that we did, you know, and it was got all, you know, pro videoed, and we'll have your cameras set up like down by like right corner, and then one up on like a high angle here, and then all that stuff, and, you know.
Yeah.
Good, you know, gives a good.
It's all
too. So like TikTok, Instagram, so you can find us and everything. So if you want to have me like Instagram.
So they can find you Instagram, TikTok, YouTube as well, right? Facebook.
Yeah,
like you're kind of
up on YouTube, but Facebook, there's another one.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
And so if they go, we'll put all your links in the show notes, of course, and then people can just go clickety-click, because they should, if they aren't already. Yeah. No, that's amazing, though. And you did your debut show. You said it was March? That was the debut, right? Or was there another one before?
Our debut was back in September last year.
Oh, September.
So it was show start of September, and then after that the next one was October, and then the last one we did there was only the one back in March there.
Oh, but it's great though. And, I've seen a lot of bands that, have been together for years and haven't played any shows or released anything. So you're way ahead. So don't worry. But that's, it's going to be great though. And I know you're going to get out for more through the year and it'll be really nice. Summer's tough too. So summer's great, but it's also tough, right? So people can look forward to new music coming out from you later this year. And also we'll be able to find you playing dates around Northern Ireland. Maybe come over to this side a little bit later this year. I'm just hoping, because I think it would be great if you could come do a show in London. We'll love it.
We would love to.
Yeah.
One of the ambitions, I think.
Yeah.
And not just London, obviously, conquer a local, maybe try Scotland or
yes,
anywhere.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be amazing. And so then everybody can come and check you out. And we'll just go through one more time. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and any other places? Do you have a mailing list? Do you have a website?
Twitter. We're all Threads as well.
Twitter and Threads. Oh, okay. And I'll link everything down below. Oh. Well, I have absolutely loved having you guys on with me today. I'm really excited to see the future because you've got something great and something unique to offer to everybody. And so you're going to get there. I'm really excited to see how it goes.
We're excited too. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast. If you're looking for more, head to healthymetalhippie.com and let's connect. Until next time, wishing you a magical week. See you later.